Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ulrike and I'm a K-Beauty and skincare content creator and just general skincare enthusiast. And today's video is all about serums. And not just any serums, but serums that give you a little bit more than just the basic hydration. Serums that I feel are just a little bit more special, that just have that extra something that makes them some of my favorite serums to use at the moment for my tired winter skin. The first serum I want to show you and talk about is the Mixsoon Bean Essence. I think it's just called Bean Essence. Yes, the Mixsoon Bean Essence. Now this is trending, at least on Instagram at the moment. I think Mixsoon sent out a lot of PR, I feel. I actually got this quite a while ago when not that many people were talking about it. But here's the thing, this is a really good product and it is a really interesting serum, I find. Now at first glance, this is just, quote unquote, just a hydrating serum. It is a very simple formula. Mixsoon basically is a clean beauty brand, and it is a brand that really very consciously focuses on minimalist formulas. They have these types of one ingredient toners and essences, and this bean essence only has 4 ingredients altogether, and most of them are just fermented extracts. The main ingredient is, of course, fermented soybean extract, and soybean extract is actually quite popular in Korean cosmetics, in Korean skincare, even though I feel it's often overlooked as a trending ingredient. Hanyul has a whole bean skincare range that apparently is very good. I have yet to try anything from that range. I really should try their essence and cream. And it's often used in anti-aging products. It's supposed to firm the skin, help with sort of loss of firmness and sort of sagginess, which is one of my main problems. I don't know if you can see it, but all of this used to be a lot further up a good 10 years ago, especially this area. Anyway, I'm not going to even start. It's always hard seeing yourself in the viewfinder. But it is also a very hydrating ingredient, and it is in fact the main hydrator in this formula. And then the other 3 ingredients are, I had to write them all down. I've taken a lot of notes today so that I get the ingredients right. So the other 3 ingredients are fermented pomegranate juice, why can I never say that word? Fermented pomegranate extract, Saccharomyces, which is usually fermented yeast extract, and fermented pear juice. Pear juice supposedly is good for skin softening. Pomegranate, rich in antioxidants, supposed to be good for aging skin and to prevent premature aging. And then Saccharomyces, said to be very brightening and also supposedly, I don't know how good the research is, but supposedly also help a little bit with age spots and hyperpigmentation. So those are the 4 ingredients. And the interesting thing about this serum to me is that it has, at first glance, you would think that it doesn't have many hydrating ingredients, but I feel it's probably one of the most hydrating serums I've tried in a long time. And it has this sort of hydration that almost feels like watery hydration. It actually has quite a stringy, thicker texture at first glance, quite reminiscent actually of snail mucin, the same sort of stringiness. I'll make sure to show you, of course, somewhere in this video in a texture shot. So you would think that it has the same problems that I find sometimes snail mucin products have, which is that they tend to kind of sit on the skin for a really long time. It takes a long time to sink in, and especially with those stringy textures in general. Again, very often I feel, same with a lot of hyaluronic acid serums, because they're more film building. It just sometimes can be a bit of a pain to wait for the product to sink in. But this is the thing with the Mixsoon essence. Even though at first you might feel it's a little bit weird to put it on the face, and again, very reminiscent of snail, it kind of almost instantly turns into sort of a water-like consistency, and thus it sinks into skin really fast and feels super refreshing and just super, super hydrating. I also just feel that this is super plumping, which sometimes with hydrating serums are kind of, they promise to be plumping, and I don't really feel they are. I just tried out, for instance, the Well-Age hyaluronic acid serum that everyone raves about. I wasn't that impressed with it, to be honest, because I feel it's a little bit, I mean, it hydrates, but it just hydrates. This, I feel, the Mixsoon Essence, really gives a little bit of plumping and just kind of makes your skin really juicy. And I really enjoy what it does for my skin. I also feel it has a bit of a smoothing ability. I think that might come from the soybean extract. And the reason I also really like it is because it is hyaluronic acid free. Now, I don't have a problem as such with hyaluronic acid. I really actually like hyaluronic acid as a hydrator. And I think at the moment, for whatever reason, it's getting an unnecessarily bad rap. But I do know that a lot of you guys don't want hyaluronic acid in your products. So I feel this is a good one to recommend to people who want a hydrating, plumping, minimalist serum that is hyaluronic acid free. So for me, just beautiful. It is technically just a hydrating product, but I feel because of its interesting texture, because of its plumping abilities, the antioxidant properties, it just has a little bit more oomph than a normal hydrating serum. And I still really just enjoy Mixsoon as a brand. If you have oily skin or combo skin or acne prone skin, then this next serum might be a really good one for you. I have talked about it before on this channel, and I will continue to talk about it because I like the brand a lot and I really like the serum, and it is this one. Again, I don't know how good my camera will pick this up, but I think it just did. Still always very adventurous shooting with his camera. Also keeps changing the lighting. I don't know. I'm just not good at videography, I think. And it is the Fation No Scar 9 Trouble Serum. This whole skincare range, the No Scar 9 skincare range, has been developed specifically for acne-prone, oily, combo skin, blemish-prone skin that is at the same time very sensitive, which is a skincare type where it's very, very difficult to find the right products, because on the one hand, you want something a little bit, I guess, a little bit more aggressive to deal with your breakouts. You know, you want those HAs, BHAs, maybe some, what's it called, benzoyl peroxide. You know what I mean, that stuff you are supposed to put on your skin. That never worked for me when I was young. I basically burned my face, I remember, with a face wash for that when I was a teen that I got from a dermatologist. But I mean, that was in the 90s, so I'm hoping this has all been developed better now. But in general, I think it's very difficult to find the right products that aren't too rich for your oil-prone skin, but at the same time want to combat those blemishes. And you need something nourishing, but you also need the strong stuff, right? So difficult skincare type to deal with. I should know, because that used to be my skin type when I was in my teens and 20s. The oil production has slowed down by now, but I used to be very oily and had adult acne, like just awful. And I would have loved to have this type of serum. I still like it because sometimes I still get breakouts and things like that. The thing about this serum is that it really has been formulated just with this combination of oily, blemish prone, but also sensitive in mind. And to me, that makes it just a very special product. Now, this is a very minimalist formula, but it contains a lot of skincare goodies, especially if you are redness prone, inflammation prone, and sensitive. So it contains mugwort and Centella asiatica extract, which are both excellent for soothing. Also panthenol, another great skin calmer. And then you also get quite a few hydrating ingredients, the main one being glycerin and hyaluronic acid. And then it also contains a very interesting ingredient called sodium heparin, supposed to be a soothing ingredient, supposed to also help with puffy skin. So it depuffs the skin, supposedly. I don't know how good the science is behind that. And it's also an anti-inflammatory. So if you're redness prone, if your skin is inflamed overall, which often happens when you have acne or oil blemish prone skin, this can be a really great addition to a skincare routine. I personally just love how soothing this is. I tend to grab this especially when I'm right before my period, because I do tend to get oilier skin. I tend to get more redness prone skin as well, and breakouts happen more right before the period. Anyone with a uterus and with a period will understand this. And I just can tell the difference when I use this in terms of soothing and sort of just calming down those areas where I tend to break out, which is around my cheeks and on my forehead, and especially on my chin. I often still get a little or larger pimples. I also feel that this just has a very nice texture. It doesn't feel sticky at all, and yet it still has that syrupy, thicker texture. It sinks into skin super fast, doesn't leave any tackiness or any residue. It's just very frills-free and very unobtrusive almost. So if you like a minimalist skincare routine, also I feel this is a great one for men who might not like certain more luxurious textures for whatever reason. It's also fragrance-free and alcohol-free, so it really is very sensitive skin friendly. It contains a couple of antioxidant extracts as well, so you can also incorporate it into an anti-aging routine. I just think it's wonderful for anyone who feels very dehydrated, but at the same time has struggles with oiliness, excess sebum, and all of these things. It's not that it reduces the sebum, but I do feel it really does a good job balancing out and evening out problems with overproduction of oils, which can often happen when you are dehydrated. Now, if you have more dehydrated skin that is more on the drier side, then this next serum might be a really good one for you. It's still quite new in my stash. I think I got it 2 weeks ago at best. Yeah, I would say roughly 2 weeks ago. But I already really like it. And it's from a brand as well that I've just been loving lately. And it is the S Nature Aqua Squalane Serum. Just this one. Again, who knows if my camera picks it up, but I think so. It's very encouraging. So S Nature, really a very fascinating brand to me. It's trending in Korea at the moment, at least on the Olive Young website. A number of their products are in the bestseller ranking, quite high up as well. Especially their cream seems to be very popular, which is also so good. I'm trying that out at the moment as well. Now, they are a clean beauty brand, but I don't find their clean beauty marketing too annoying. With Mixsoon, that first bean essence serum that I introduced you to, sometimes the clean beauty marketing is a little bit off-putting. But with S Nature, I feel it's not over-emphasized, and I feel that the products still have very solid scientific, a very solid scientific foundation, and the ingredients are really scientifically sound as well. They all are proven to work, and they really do very well with their formulas, I find. Now, this serum contains quite a lot of hydrating ingredients. It contains 8 types of hyaluronic acid, so that is certainly hyaluronic acid, super load of hyaluronic acid. As I've said, hyaluronic acid at the moment gets a bit of a bad rap, but I think it is unfounded and undeserved. To me, hyaluronic acid is a very solid hydrator, as long as you don't have sensitivities, which some people have, but it's not an ingredient to fear or to stay away from, especially this whole idea that it dehydrates the skin. Michelle from Lab Muffin has done an excellent job debunking that. The main reason that this can't be true, that it needs extra water, or that it grabs the water from your face because it doesn't have enough water, just weird stuff that can't be true, because the thing is, guys, hyaluronic acid is a powder and you dissolve it in water. So all of these hydrating serums with hyaluronic acid have water in them as one of their main ingredients. So why would hyaluronic acid have a lack of water? It does not make sense. Watch Michelle's video because, again, she explains it well. I think it was on TikTok predominantly. I'm not sure she did one on YouTube. But for me, hyaluronic acid has always worked very well, especially if it's a mix of different types of hyaluronic acid that can do different things for your skin. Now, this serum does not just rely on hyaluronic acid for its hydrating properties, which is why I think it's such a good serum. As I said, I've tried the Well-Age Pure Hyaluronic Acid Serum that everyone hypes up, and I was a little bit disappointed by it. Same with the Torrid and Dive-In Serum, which also heavily relies on hyaluronic acid as its main ingredient. This also contains glycerin and humectant sugar molecules, plus Japanese seaweed, which also is a humectant, also is rich in minerals and antioxidants. So that's a great addition. And it also contains panthenol and allantoin, which I never know how to pronounce, which are both ingredients that are soothing and calming. So it works very well for sensitive skin. Now, the only caveat, the only warning when it comes to you sensitive skin people is that this also contains witch hazel. Witch hazel extract sometimes can be sensitizing, so double check if witch hazel is okay for you. I don't mind witch hazel, but I do know a couple of people are sensitive to it, so that's the only thing that might turn you off from this serum. The reason why I think it is just that little bit more interesting, more exciting than a regular hydrating serum is because of its main ingredient, which is squalane. I feel that the squalane really gives it some extra nourishing properties that make it ideal for dehydrated skin that is more on the dry side. I have combo skin and it still works very, very well for me, so I also don't feel that it's overwhelming. This still has a gel texture, so it's not creamy or anything. It doesn't feel oily because squalane has an oil-like texture. Basically, it is like an oil. But here it is really incorporated in the formula in a way that it just feels very nourishing without being overwhelming. And to me, that really elevates this product over a lot of hydrating serums I've tried lately. It also is fragrance-free and alcohol-free, as most S Nature products, I believe. So for me, unless you have problems with the witch hazel, this should work very well if you have normal to dry or combo skin that sometimes gets dry, especially now in winter. Truly a beautiful product. And S Nature just remains a very interesting brand to me. Now, this next serum is a bit of a blast from the past for me. I'd kind of forgotten about it almost. But since lately, it's kind of been making a bit of a comeback. I ordered it at Olive Young when they had a 1+1 deal for a really good price. And I thought, you know what? I'm kind of in the mood for this serum because I always loved it. And it was probably one of the first K-Beauty products I've ever tried besides sheet masks. Also lately, I think in her latest video or one of her later videos, I'm not sure if it was the very latest, Lab Muffin talked about this, so I am suspecting it's gonna come back into everyone's subconscious again and more people will try it out. It is still a very trending ingredient and a trending brand in Korea, and I'm talking about the Skinfood Royal Honey Propolis Enrich Essence. It's called an essence. It is a serum. The essence category, Odile Monod did a really good video on this. Basically, an essence can be anything between a toner and a serum. It kind of almost never really has its own meaning. It always means either toner or essence. It usually is connected just with higher dosages of an ingredient or a product being an anti-aging product. That's usually why Koreans call it an essence. This used to be pretty much the serum to use in the 2000s, sort of mid 2010s, when that first wave of K-beauty bloggers started talking about K-beauty in English, and more people became aware of how great Korean skincare is. Skinfood was one of those brands that was widely available. Even here in the West, it was quite easy to find on eBay or in different shops at a time where a lot of brands did not really sell overseas. So that's why Skinfood really is one of those OG brands that a lot of us used first when we quote unquote discovered K-beauty here in the West. And Skinfood then got into a bit of trouble financially. They had to sort of revamp their entire brand. They weren't available for a while. And now Skinfood is just back and just as popular as it used to be. And this serum in particular really is just such a classic. The main ingredient in this, of course, as the name suggests, is propolis extract, 63% to be exact. It also contains 10% honey extract and 10% royal jelly extract, which are all excellent hydrating ingredients, but propolis also has so many other skincare benefits. Propolis is an anti-inflammatory, it's antifungal, antioxidant. I have to go through my brain to remember. I did a whole episode on my podcast about propolis, and it really is one of my favorite ingredients. And it can really be beneficial, especially if you have acne-prone skin that is also prone to redness, because it just instantly calms down the blemished areas and can even help speed up wound healing. And especially that anti-inflammatory property that it has, for me, has always made it a godsend. Why did I say this so weirdly? Godsend. And I really do find it a very nourishing ingredient as well. So even if you're not acne prone, if you're more on the dry side, this is still a wonderful ingredient to incorporate, especially in a winter routine. This also contains a couple of other hydrating ingredients: glycerin, beta-glucan, one of my favorite humectants. I love beta-glucan, and hyaluronic acid. So it really is a hydration bomb. And it also has this sort of thicker, compact almost texture that really just feels so nourishing, while at the same time it is still a gel texture. This serum also contains probiotic extracts, which are great for skin barrier health, skin microbiome health. It's also fragrance and alcohol free, so it tends to be very well tolerated by people with sensitive skin. And even the very critical German skincare community usually likes the serum, and they're very minimalist and very sort of anti-fragrance and anti-everything that could potentially sensitize the skin. And this is one of the few Korean products in the German skincare community that usually gets a high rating. So if their discerning tastes like it, that tells you something about how soothing and calming and well tolerated this usually is. And the texture, I really just love how rich it feels. As I said, it feels almost kind of compact, sort of really quite dense and sort of syrupy thick. I always feel very well nourished, or my skin feels very well nourished when I use this. And it just really is so soothing. The propolis really just does such a good job calming down any redness, inflammation. And I feel this is a great serum for a variety of skin types. I think it works for dry skin, it works for all dehydrated skin types, and it can also work for acne-prone skin. So I just feel it's such a great, nourishing, soothing, hydrating, all-rounder serum that is just wonderful. I'm really happy actually that I kind of rediscovered this lately. Now, if hyperpigmentation and fading dark spots and age spots is your main concern, then this serum might be something for you. And it is the Centellia 24 Expert Madeca Mela Capsule Ampoule Pro. What a name. And it comes in this bottle, which I believe might be an Olive Young exclusive. Usually they come in little ampoules, but this is like the large jumbo, special jumbo size that you can get from Olive Young, and I snatched it up during a sale because Odile Monod talks very highly of the serum, so I thought I should try it out. Now, I haven't tried it out for long, so I can't really say yet how great it works long term in fading age spots, but apparently it is one of the #1 products, especially for mature skinned Koreans. And apparently it's very well liked and very popular in Korea, again, especially amongst more mature skinned people. This, so Centellion 24 is a sub-brand, just like Fation, of a large pharmaceutical company, apparently also a very influential pharmaceutical company. And they are really the ones that brought Centella Asiatica and Cica into what it is today as one of those key ingredients really in especially Korean skincare. All Centellion 24 products use Teca, which is a Cica extract or Cica complex, I guess, which is supposed to be more potent than just general Centella Asiatica. And I believe that the brand Centellion 24 developed the Teca complex. Some other brands use this as well. Make Prem just brought out a couple of Teca containing products. And basically it's just a combination of all the various medicinal compounds of Centella Asiatica. Now, as the Asiatica side, Madeca side, all of these. And thus it is a very potent version of Centella Asiatica or Cica. I don't know why, but filming is very disruptive today. I hope I haven't forgotten what I said in the previous scene. But we were talking about this product before I got interrupted. So Teca is the main ingredient in all Centellion 24 products, pretty much. But this also has a host, and I mean a host of other ingredients. The ingredient list on the Olive Young website is like this long. It's a lot, and I won't be able to get through all of it. The main thing about the serum is that it contains a complex, sort of a brightening complex, made up of supposedly 10 skin brightening ingredients. Now, I didn't count all of the ingredients. I'm not sure which 10 on this long list are supposedly part of the complex, but the brightening and sort of hyperpigmentation tackling ingredients that I found in the list are, for instance, licorice root extract, which is really great for brightening, fermented rice extract, which is supposed to help just brighten skin overall. Then vitamin C and a host of vitamin C derivatives are also in there. Can't tell you anything about whether or not it is a stable form of vitamin C. It does contain ascorbic acid. I'm not sure if it would work in this formula. The derivatives usually do work even in different pH values. I'm just going to tell you the ingredients. I'm not a scientist, so I cannot 100% confirm that this is a working form of vitamin C. It also, however, contains retinoyl palmitate, which is a vitamin A derivative, so it's a retinoid, and apparently a very gentle one. Not as effective as, say, retinol, but it is there, it is in the formula. It will certainly do something, even though maybe just mildly so. It also contains gluconic acid, which is a PHA, which can also help with skin cell turnover and thus make skin appear more brightened and smoother. And it also contains tranexamic acid, which also is often used in brightening and anti-hyperpigmentation type formulas. I don't think those were 10 ingredients, so there must be other ones in there that I maybe didn't spot, but those were the main ones that I noticed. Apart from the brightening ingredients, this also contains a whole host of antioxidant plant extracts. I'm not going to even name all of them because so many. As I said, the list of ingredients is long. And some very interesting anti-aging ingredients, ginseng is in there, ginseng extract and coenzyme Q10, which is really good for skin firming, supposedly. And also a lot of hydrating ingredients, of course, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and then squalane as well, just like in the S Nature serum. So it is a bit of a richer, more nourishing texture. Now, as I said, I can't promise you yet that this will have an effect on your hyperpigmentation. I haven't used it for long enough for that yet. However, I still wanted to mention this serum in today's video because here's something really interesting about the serum. When I first used this, I noticed that it has almost like a shimmery quality to it. And when you apply it on the skin, it just instantly gives it a bit of a shimmer, a bit of a glimmer. So I actually thought there must be some glimmer particle in there, or mica, or something more sort of cosmetical or makeup style. Now, I've looked at the ingredient list. Maybe I've overlooked it, so I'm ready to be corrected. But I think there's no shimmer or glimmer in there. So it must be something in the formula that actually makes the skin just look kind of more, I don't want to say glowy, because it really is almost more shimmery. There's something really beautiful about the effect that this serum creates, and it's an instantaneous effect on the skin. Now, I don't know if it will do this long term, but just as a sort of refresher, as a sort of wake up call for your skin when it looks a little bit lackluster, I find this a really great morning serum. I've started using this now as a skin prep when I put on makeup. It's really beautiful for that, and I just really like how hydrating it is. It's very smoothing, and again, it just creates a bit of a youthful shimmer on the skin, which apparently is also what it's very famous for, because it's one of those quote-unquote glass skin serums. So for that, I really like it. I also do think that it's just such an interesting formula with so many beneficial ingredients. I think this is a very promising start between me and the serum. So again, that's why I wanted to add it here, because I really think it is a good example of a serum that doesn't just hydrate, but has so many anti-aging, brightening, antioxidant properties. And for that, usually you can get it for a pretty fair price. I mean, you would think a serum like that would cost, I don't know, $80 or something. I'm pretty sure I paid something around $35. So I find it really affordable. As long as you get it on sale. And yeah, I think for especially mature skin, lackluster skin, and anyone with hyperpigmentation issues, this is a really good one to try. And those were the serums that I wanted to introduce you to today, which I just think have to offer so much more than just being hydrating serums. And I think they're all really interesting and unique and beneficial in their own way. I hope I maybe helped you discover something new, or maybe help with a purchasing choice if you were already thinking about getting any of those products. Let me know in the comments if you've already tried them, or if you're wanting to try them, or what other serums you maybe can recommend that you feel are just a little bit, that tiny bit more interesting than a purely hydrating serum. If you found this video helpful, it would be awesome if you could give it a thumbs up. That always helps videos to be seen by the volatile YouTube algorithm. And of course, the biggest help and support that you can give to smaller creators like me is always to subscribe, so that we can grow and hopefully develop more and more videos and do more and more and better, hopefully, content in the future. And speaking of the future, I will of course see you again next week with a new video. I already have an idea, I think, what I want to talk about. So I see you then, and until then, please do take care. Bye!